Hi there, folks, and welcome to another episode of Probate Notes. I'm your host, Sam Price, and I have a really special guest here with us today. Her name is Catalina Castaneda, and she is a real estate agent in Riverside, California. She's going to tell us a bit about her work in probate real estate. Catalina, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast today.
Yeah, thank you. I'm thrilled and honored to be here.
Well, thank you. And, I've known you for many years, but can you tell our listeners a bit about you and you have a very colorful and interesting background. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Yeah. So I was born and raised in Colombia, South America. I went to school there. I got my bachelor's in international business. And as soon as that happened, everybody in other countries had that American dream.
Yeah.
And, unfortunately, Colombia is not a place for opportunities. And so decided to come to the United States. This was back in 2008. As soon as I graduated and got my bachelor's, I moved here. And ever since then, I've been here. Particularly speaking, I landed here in Corona in Riverside area. This is where I live and work. And, I've been passionate about Riverside with mainly the Inland Empire. And that's where I developed my career in real estate. So born and raised in Colombia, obviously fluent in Spanish. And I kind of developed a little bit of my profession in the side of the business too, I would say, it's about relationships and business and, everything entail when you are an entrepreneur, how to grow your business. So I feel like I'm still putting a little bit of my career in the real estate side of it. Yeah.
What did you study when you were in college? What is your
Yeah.
degree?
So it was international business with a major in logistics. Logistics, everything that had to do from, all the process from bringing goods from one country to the other, tariffs and containers and shipping and the entire process from bringing things from one country to the other and importing and exporting goods. That was the logistics major of it. But overall, I think that the whole mindset of the career was to create your own business and how to become your own, you know, boss and everything that had to do with marketing and, just being a go-getter.
What is the best part of being a real estate agent?
Uh, you know what? For me, I would have to say the connections, the relationships that you build. Um, it's um, For example, I love doing client appreciation events, and my clients are always looking forward to the events, whether they're small or big, because it's just a way for us to see each other again and catch up. And so those connections, those relationships for me, they don't end when the transaction for closes. I keep my clients in there forever. And I always warn them, I'm like, this is not the end. You're going to
Uh,
be
uh,
for a long time. So get ready. But it's really nice those relationships that you build, and a lot of them become actual friends, and they're they're there for when you have a baby, or to be I had a client who, when my son was born, she sent him $5 for his piggy bank.
Sweet.
It's so cute. It's just
That's sweet.
that's too. Yeah. So I love that. That's the best part.
That is wonderful. But if that's the best part, can I ask you, what is the worst part of your job?
Oh my goodness. Um, I would have to, gosh. Sometimes, um, transactions get a little too complicated, and, we wear so many hats in real estate as real estate agent. And one of those is, literally being like a therapist. And,
Uh,
um, just like recently, I had a transaction that I closed. It was a divorce. And it's so unfortunate with divorces turn sour and like parties do not talk to each other and they're always, like going after each other. So it becomes sometimes too much. Um in It could become a problem. It could be an obstacle throughout the sale because, one party is denying to do something and the other one is like, let's go, go, go. So it's some some transactions can be challenging. It could become a headache for us. But ultimately we are problem solvers. So we have to figure out how to keep pushing through and how to make things work. That's the difficult part of the business, that it could become a headache at some point, because of the the people's personalities and how they do business, and the relationships between them are not the best, things like that.
What is the biggest part of you being able to have that resilience in order to be able to keep making those calls?
I mean, I don't know. It hasn't been easy. If I would have started making this calls in 2010 when I started the business, I would have been
We get it.
tearing up. Yeah,
Yeah.
forget it. So, it also with the business, they say that you get tough skin, and um, again, you cannot take things personal. Because then otherwise it's just going to destroy you. I mean, all the rejection I've gotten in my life, if I pay attention to that, then I would have been down. But again, just because I am so passionate about the business and I will just continue to move forward and continue to be persistent and continue to push. That's also what's helped me just to keep going and keep going. So it definitely takes a lot of resilience. And it's not for everybody. Yeah, that's why some agents choose to have other niches or do other type of prospecting, and they may do open houses better. Or so it does take a lot to do cold calls. But that's how I created and grew my business. At some point I was closing about, I would say 85% of my business was probate sales. The biggest majority of the business that I was getting was probate sales. And so little by little, I started going down on the calls. And then I was starting to get people to come to me through referrals, through Google reviews. I still do mailers and paper marketing to a lot of those petitioners. And once again, so the business started just flowing back instead of me chasing the business.
What advice would you have for another real estate agent that is interested in um, niching into probate real estate?
Prepare yourselves. Know what you are talking about. I feel that one of the things that also helps building that trust is the confidence, that you know what you're talking about, and people can see that. So I would say first and foremost, you know, learn everything about probate, from A to Z, so you know what you're talking about. And then, I mean, this is something that it's it cannot be taught, to be compassionate, to be human, and to be empathetic. It's just a thing of a personality and experiences in life, and all of those tough moments that you go through. Like with my brother, I learned to appreciate life so much more and those around me. And so you definitely have to have a heart if you want to get into this niche. So it don't be too salesy. Um, come from a place of help and just to be there for them. And like, okay, what can I do to help? What do you need? Do you need any resources, any referrals, any? Like yesterday, I met with a new client. Her dad was 100 years old when he passed away.
Wow.
And oh my God, that is such a blessing